back in the year 1537, the Romans invaded this area, and what better thing to leave us than a racetrack? It was a lot smaller back then, and it was a small oval where they could ride their chariots and stuff, you know, with a thing sticking out in the middle of the wheel and stuff, Ben-Hur stuff, you know. So that was how this track got invented. Suzuka is actually a Roman name, not a Japanese name, and you can tell by the corner names as well. You know, like you got turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, 4, 5, all the way down to 130R. You know, it just reeks of Rome. You know, the Italians, they're everywhere. Well, they were back then, and they made it as far, you know, back over here. You know, I don't know if you know, but the Roman Empire stretched from Rome. A lot of people know that the Roman Empire stretched from Rome all the way up to Hadrian's Wall in Scotland. The reason why they didn't go further than Hadrian's Wall is because they decided to build the wall there, because the Scottish didn't fight like other people fought. When the British fought in armies back then, what they would do is they would turn up, bring their whole family to watch the proceedings. You know, wearing their cloths and stuff. You know, walking around with like little pitchforks from the farms, stuff like that. So Roman just wiped us out, and then they thought, oh, I wonder what's up north. So they went up north, and they realised that up north you've got Scottish people up north, and they fight a bit different. What they did was guerrilla warfare, and they'd hide in the forest and stuff like that. And when they saw a few Romans walking around, they'd jump out of trees, kill them, run off. You know, even before they knew what had hit them. Anyway, not many people know that the Roman Empire stretched all the way as far as Japan in 1530. They weren't even around in 1530. Alright, enough crap. Suzuka. What a track. I'm going to set my wrist up again. I'm sitting too low in the car. One thing to know about this track is car setup. And there's a little secret to this place, and maybe Spa, or anywhere where there's no, I wouldn't say Spa, because there's not many corners leading into other corners. There is a couple here and there at Spa, but I don't think there's enough. Anyway, it's worth trying at Spa. I might try it this season, see what happens. Rear cambers. If you've got corners going in to other corners and corners following other corners straight away with no acceleration zone in between them, you know, every corner exit has got an acceleration zone, but that's what I'm not talking about. That I'm talking about whether there's a straight after the corner. There's there's quite a lot of corners here that just lead straight into other corners. So really, anywhere from turn 1, I know there's a little short straight between turn 2 and turn 3, I suppose it is, but after that you've got a corner sort of attached to a corner all the way up to, or getting on for the bridge. This little trick works with big corners, with sort of, you know, where you can't get the power down that hard, and you can't get the power down that hard in this car off of these big corners. So I'm talking about the end of the S's, you know, the big sweeping left-hander where Mr. Bianchi had his terrible accident. That sweeping left corner there, that's one of these corners what I'm talking about. You know, you can't get down on the power too hard. You know, you've got to really feed the power in there. Anyway, what am I talking about? Rear cambers. you can try a trick of running higher rear cambers at this track. Normally I've downloaded sets from a few people over the years, and normally you'd never see anything over 1.2, minus 1.2, down to about sort of, 0.6, minus 0.6 or minus 0.5 or something like that. What happens is with the front cambers, everyone knows what the front cambers are for. You like, put more camber in it turns in harder, you get more grip on the front end of the car. And everyone knows you can go up to a minus 4 on this car, with these stupid tyres on the car. And that's all that happens. You probably get a bit more performance out of the brakes if you run less front camber, because there's more tyre touching the road along the straights. For those that don't know what camber does, if you look at, I'll tell you what, the best way to do it is go and watch a V8 supercar live video of when they put like a camera on the bottom of the front wishbone, on the bottom arm of the suspension on the front wheel of a V8 supercar, and you just watch how the tyre behaves when it's going around the corner. The tyre twists all over the place, when there's a load of weight on it. It really, really twists over it. It doesn't even look normal. And I guarantee you, if you'd never watched it, you'd be in for a shock at how much the tyre moves around. So even that fact alone tells me to say hats off to Dave for trying to model all this stuff, because tyres ain't normal. They just ain't. And so go and check out a V8 supercar on board, lower wishbone camera angle showing you the tyre as it goes around the corner. What happens is, if you've got zero camber on the car, i.e. the wheels are vertical, straight up, when you roll into the corner, say for turn 1, when you roll into that right-hander, the left front wheel will twist at the bottom, so you'll get a big saggy bit on the inside of the tyre wall and a big stretchy bit on the outside tyre wall, and the only bit that will be touching the floor is the outside edge of the tyre. And you won't be getting any grip from the inside of the tyre. That's why you put camber in the front tyres, so when you are in the middle of the corner, you've got as much rubber as you can get on there. I don't know why it matters. I don't know why you get more performance by putting minus 4 degrees of camber in this car, or minus 3 or whatever, anywhere up there. It shouldn't be that way for this car. It should be about 1.5, I reckon, minus 1.5. Anyway, so everyone knows what the front cambers do. The rear cambers are a bit more difficult to understand. Well, not really, they're quite easy. Basically, the more camber you put in the rear, the more grip you get on the rear tyres. But there is a trade-off. That's why it's a little bit more difficult than the front cambers. Front cambers, you just think, okay, right, I'll whack that in and see what happens. Oh yeah, it turns in, brilliant, done. Let's try some more. Oh, it turns in better, brilliant, done. Are the tyres wearing out? No. Okay, let's leave it like that. That's all you do with the fronts. With the rears, you have to have you have to have a think about what the track is like, what sort of trade-off you're going to give, away running higher cambers on the rear. If you run higher cambers on the rear, you get a massive increase in mid-corner speed. The car doesn't oversteer as much. There's no four-wheel drift. It loses all its four-wheel drift, but it doesn't feel like it's understeering. It just feels like all four wheels are gripped up. So where's the problem with that? The problem with that is coming off the slow corners. When you come off like the hairpin, or the chicane at the end of the lap, you've got hardly any grip on the rear end. So that's the trade-off. So, I mean, we did a race here maybe over a year ago now. We did a race here, and we did it on the small version, the short version of the track here. And I haven't kept this set. I wish I'd have kept that set, because I'd try it now. But that set had minus 3 degrees on the front and minus 3 degrees on the back. And although none of the really fast guys were there that week. The car was so quick and glued to the track, it just felt brilliant, you know. But that was the shorter course. That hasn't got the slow hairpins and the slow chicane on it, so it might be a bit different this time. So it's another thing. If you're going to try it, I'll definitely try it. You've got to try it. Even if so, just run your normal setup, run your Le Mans set. Obviously, change your gearing. Run your Le Mans set. There's nothing wrong with that. And then once you've got up to speed, put in -2 degrees of camber on the rear, and just watch how fast you are through the S's, and then up the hill, and then when you get under the bridge and you slow down for the hairpin, watch how hard it is coming off the hairpin and the chicane. So that's the trade-off. So if you can find the right number, which I'm going to definitely try and do this week, try and find the right number of rear camber setting, it's going to help you a massive amount. It's going to help you. It's not going to help you a massive amount. It's going to help you. So the other thing is, yeah, if you're going to run if we're going to try higher cambers on the rear, there's another thing that is really annoying, and if this didn't happen on the car, I would be running high cambers on the rear everywhere we went. The problem is the rear toe gets knocked out. So the more camber you put in, the more rear toe out goes into the car. So if you've got if you've got 2.5 inches ride height, we read in inches, feet in inches in the Lotus 49, please guys. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Toe out on the rear. So if you've got 2.5 inches on the front end and getting close to 5 inches on the back end, ride height I'm talking about, when you put the rear camber in, your ride height is going to go exactly like that noise. No, your ride height will need to come down in order to keep the toe the same. So if you had like zero toe out or +1 toe out on the rear, if you whack a load of camber in the car, you've got to drop your ride height down, and everyone knows that makes the car less loose. So it's quite hard to set up for putting some rear camber in the car, but it's definitely worth trying out. Definitely worth trying out. Let's talk about the track. So here we go. Let's sort off and get on the lap. Speaking of sodding off, I hope everyone noticed Gary's paint in the broadcast race on Saturday. I can't remember where he was on the track, but there was a massive extreme close-up of his car as it went past the camera, and it just sod it landscaping. Oh man, that guy. Anyway, let's go through some brake markers. I won't talk about turn 1 yet. I don't even know what setup I've got in the car here. Let's come down here, hit that apex. You can have I think this is going to be a second gear corner. You can have a real late apex here. Sort of the later the better, even as late as that. It's a nice apex to get. You get nice drifty coming out of here, hit that curb there. Touch a brake in third gear. Right up this curve on the left. A short little touch of that curb. And those corners behind me there are pretty much constant speed corners, but this one, for some unknown reason to me, is an acceleration zone. Oh, I know why, because it's uphill. Right. There you go, the sound of Eureka moment again. If the car's going uphill, why do you have more grip? Because it's fighting against gravity, so it's like having fake downforce on the car, because it's, you know, it's against the laws of gravity. It's not against them, but it's fighting against gravity more. So Anyway, that corner behind me just now, the right-hander, that's off camera and downhill. That's a slow, stupid, horrible corner. I hate this corner. Hate it. It's one of the worst corners in the world. I don't know why did Romans ever invented that corner. Anyway, so this corner here stinks because it's not off camera, but it's downhill, so your car's got less downfalls, less weight on the tyres really. Here's where your high camber on the rear will help. Because you're coming up here, fourth gear, you know, need to get on the power, I think the higher rear camber will help you get on the power because the car's still turning left. So come across here, third gear, take a chunk of curb, run down this line here, second gear, another chunk of curb, use a little bit of that curb on the left. Right, as you brake for this chicane, don't change down gear until you get to about here. So I think you'll be in third gear or fourth gear. Don't go down your gears until you get to here. The reason my phone is doing that is because I've got a gig tonight and everyone's texting me, oh, what time are you starting? Can we get, are we going to wear a shirt? Do all your downshifting on this part of the track. The reason why I'm saying that is if you start downshifting back here on this corner, here, if you start downshifting there, the only thing that's going to happen is the back's going to go out to the left. You're going to have to counter steer into it, then you're going to have to downshift again, then you're still going to be out sort of on the borderline of being in control of the car, still downshifting. This is quite an aggressive video, isn't it? I'm being, you know, do this, downshift there, do it. Okay, so be it. So yeah, so do all your downshifting after this, I suppose that curve there on the right. Well, as soon as you get the car straightened up, show you when we're up at speed anyway. I think this is a second gear corner, yeah, I don't really like putting it down in the first gear. I never really like putting it down in the first gear, because there's such a big jump from first to second, you can never get a good drive off of any corner in first gear really. And that is why Mr. Rob has got faster lately. Because he said in the interview that he's not changing down in the first gear anymore. Not sure I like that, Rob. Anyway. Oh yeah, incidentally, Rob, just for you, you didn't miss the Apex at Le Mans. I watched it afterwards on the broadcast. Yeah, it was 50-50 there. At least we didn't touch anyway. And by the way, good running yesterday on the Rolling Thunder mod. That was a brilliant race. Me, Simon and Rob all bombing around. Simon in the Lotus 49, me and Rob in Ferraris. And I was just catching Simon at the end, and I didn't get him at the end. There's a tiny curb on the right here. Just a little nibble of this, you get a 1x. Have a look at my incidents for this season. 76. something like 76 incidents. The only reason I get so many bloody incidents is because I'm always running. You know, I'm always trying to get this last little niggle of track. You know, so I'll get. You know, I'll run down here and I'll get a 1x for that. You know, they're all 1x's. Trust me, Gov. My lad. You know? Should really learn to run down there instead. Anyway. What's the worst thing about this track? You can't overtake on it. There's only one. There's a couple of spots. Everyone sort of thinks, oh yeah, it's going to be like Senna and Prost when we get to Suzuka. It never is, because it's really hard to overtake. If the guy, you know, if you're around the same pace as the guy in front or behind, it's really hard for them to get a pass or for you to make a pass. This is one of the only spots where you can go for go for a sneaky one. And what you can do is you can put your foot in early off of this corner. You know, this is the racing line down here. You can see this dark bit of the track. You know, this is the racing line, and this is where, again, this is the same sort of thing as the hairpin back then. You know, wait for the car to get straightened up. Well, you're still accelerating here anyway, so it doesn't hold true for this corner. But if you're anywhere near, if the guy in front of you got a bad run off the hairpin, and you're on his gearbox at this point here, always try this. Always just try and overdrive this corner here. Just overdrive it a bit, and chances are, I mean, you'll run wide here. This is where you'll be, and you're running. You know, you are going too wide. There's no way you're going to get over back to the right-hand side of the track to be on the racing line. But still try it, because now, at this point here, just as you're hitting the brakes, your front wheel might be along where his back wheel is. You know, your front wheel and your back wheel, you know, are together. You know, and then you hit the brakes. You know, and you've got a really good chance. Nobody turns in on anyone in this series. You know, that's always been the case. You know, like nobody does it. It's such a good thing to see. So it means that you can, you know, yes, you can take liberties when you're passing someone, but they can too, and everyone knows that. So if you have got your front wheel up along this, I sort of think the rule in this series is if you're in a braking zone or anything like that, doesn't matter where the car is or behind you or coming up next to you, whatever. If I hear the spot, I say car left or car right, I give him room. That's what I always do. I never turn in on anyone, you know, like that, and you know, not intentionally. And I think everyone's the same, you know, and that's what's good to see about this series, because that's the main thing that causes wrecks and arguments in any sort of racing, you know, real or online or whatever. It just doesn't happen here. You know, if the spot says car left, you know, everyone just leaves room. You know, you don't have to leave the door wide open. I'm talking about, you know, you're coming down here. Now, if I'm the bloke who's just getting past now, you know, I'm not going to slam the brakes on and run round here, you know, while the guy just sort of disappears on his apex. I'm going to, you know, I know there's a limit to that guy's grip, amount of track. So when he's at the apex, when he's here, up here, that's taking the piss a bit. I'll give him a bit more. When he's here, I want my wheel or whatever part of the car's next to him here, I want it almost touching him. And then as I come around here, you know, I'm obviously here now, the car's next to me on the left. You know, as I come around here, I'm not going to run out here. You know, what's the point of me running out here? All that does is gives him, the guy who's next to me, a nice easy run into the next corner. I want to be here. You know, he's next to me still. I want to be here. The reason I want to be here is because I know damn well he hasn't practiced. No one practices this, so I'm not slagging anyone off here, but I know damn well no one's practiced running down this part of the track on this line for this next corner. Nobody would do that, so he doesn't know where to brake. You know, obviously he's got a pretty good idea, but he doesn't know. Chances are, you know, obviously again I've got to give him room. That's how much room he's getting. You know, on the inside, maybe a little bit more. It's a lot easier to judge when there is an actual car next to you. But then from here, now, even if the car's slightly in front of me, I'd say, I've got a slight advantage, because I can do what I want. You know, I can come out here, his exit's all tight and horrible and smelly. Now, I'm going faster than him now down here, slightly. If I got a better run, if I didn't mess up my run. And the other thing I know damn well is, as I'm coming down here, looking for this braking marker, which is around here, you know, we're both together, he's going to be here. So if he wants to make it round that corner, he's got to brake a lot earlier than me. And again, I know damn well that he hasn't practiced this line, because no one will. I won't. You know, I'm just going to guess it as much as anyone else will. So that's losing myself. Anyway, run out on this curve a little bit here. You'll probably end up running out there like that, and then slam your brakes down to first gear at about that point. First gear. A note for qualifying. One little note for qualifying. Let me just run the normal racing line through here, just to show you what you normally do. Everyone knows it. I just want to show you this and the difference. So in qualifying, you can change your line through that chicane to get a better run. It works at a lot of tracks. It works especially at Silverstone. You know, that last slow, stupid corner onto the front straight. If you do that there, you get a lot of time. It works a lot down here because, mind you do have to nail the sweeping right-hander down onto the finishing line there. You do get a bit of speed. It does take a little bit of practice because you've got to adjust your braking zone a little bit when you get down to turn one. So if your braking marker is right on the limit, I'd say pull it back a half a car length, just so you make it, because you will be going fast down the straight. Let me just show you what the normal racing line is then. So normal racing line, so over that curb, and then away you go. What you should do in qualifying, and it really does matter here because, like I say, it's hard to pass here. What you want to do is you want to sacrifice the first one, so come down here at stupid speed like this, run up like this, and then go for it here. That's the ideal way to do it because you gain a lot of time on the front straight. Let's just show you where the brake marker is for turn one, because I think I know where that one is. But yeah, you gain a lot, but like I say, you do have to nail this sweeping right hander down here, and you might have to adjust your brake marker down to turn one. Just turn this engine down a little bit. So your brake marker for turn one is slightly before that. It's right there, and I think I'm only gonna. I don't even know if this helps when I tell you where braking markers are. Let me know in the forum. I was gonna say let me know in the comments. Let me know in the forum if these help. I know I do them every week, but I don't know if people need them or what. I don't know. So anyway, my brake marker for turn one is that pylon over there. That big pylon looks like it's right in the middle of the grandstand. Where that comes down, and you know, I'm using a rift. When that crosses the edge, you know, with my face looking straight down this line ahead of me, when that pylon just disappears off the edge of the rift, that's when I brake. So let's just try and get up to a bit of speed. So, and I haven't done any running here yet, so not much anyway. So third gear, a little bit of brake, too much there. Run up that curb, getting a load of stuttering. Why is that? Acceleration zone through that one. Slow down for this one. Don't speed up because it just. I hate that corner. You got to stay to the right there. Look. This is your acceleration zone. And then brake there. Big curb. Down to second gear, touch the inside curb, run on the right and the outside. Now remember, don't downshift until your car's straighten up, so let it get around the corner, look, there, then downshift. So much easier, and because it's easier, it's faster. Because you can drive a bit more on the limit. So yeah, fourth gear around here, ease off a bit, oh, miss the apex. This is going to be a, I don't know, might be a third gear corner for me. Yeah, I think it will be. Late apex. Don't take too much of that curve on the right because it's a bit smelly. What's your brake marker? Which is around there. Down the third gear, and there's the phone ringing. Oh, every time I tell these people I'm doing videos, look, you know, I'm doing important stuff. important bloody stuff. What? Hello, mate. What? All right. Yeah. Even before I said a word to him, that was. So yeah. Yeah. Right. Nice one. Oh, mate. I know, yeah. I know. I know. Go on. Well, maybe he didn't know. You never know, do you? Yeah, you never know. I'll tell you later, mate. I'm right in the middle of something. Yeah, alright, mate. Alright, see you, mate. See ya. See ya. I just realised I had the mic on all the way through that. Sorry, guys. That was my mate Steve, who I was telling you about in the other video, who got off the Prix touring car drive. I don't know if I did tell you that in the other video. What is going on with this setup? Yeah, he got offered a drive in the touring cars, British touring cars, years and years ago, early 90s, and couldn't do it because he was. Why couldn't he do it? Oh, that was it, because they wanted something like 40 grand or something, you know, off of him, and that would have meant selling his house, so he didn't do it. I think my power ramp's miles out, so I'm just going to go and change that before I do a couple of laps here. Alright, what it probably was, I did have a quite, well, 50 was the power ramp, so it wasn't that bad, but I've got -2 camber on the rear tyres, like I was saying. It's fast around the sweeping corners, like now, you know, or now, this is where you get the speed here, and here, you know, like right in the middle of the corner, this is where you pick up again. Here, you know, you can probably see, you know, I'm normally saying things like, oh yeah, you need to hammer the gas, you know, and straighten up the steering wheel. Look, I'm not even doing it here, look. Still turning the wheel here, look. All the way around the corner, look. What about here? No, straighten up there. And this, so, okay, hold on, let's just get around here. This is where I'm saying it's going to hurt you coming off this corner. That's where your higher rear camber hurts. Notice there on the end of the straight before I went into the spoon curve now, just put my foot down just to get the back out, to get the car into the on the right hand side of the track. That means you can go round there faster than you normally would. Same here, put my foot down there to get a good exit off the 130R. Chunk of curb there, massive amount here. And this is where your high camber hurts. Coming down here. There you go, look, see that's all that high rear camber doing that. So -2's too much. I think, unless it's just me needing to practice. Second gear here, late apex. Will I get one? Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, camber. So yeah, so like I say, this is what I'm talking about. High camber is really good in the middle of the corners, but it's not so good on the acceleration zones, and I'm going to drop it down a bit because it's too high. Let's have a go. So after I've done the camber setting, to -2, I've changed it back to 1.5 now, -1.5. Basically, all I've done to do that is just literally change the rear cambers to 1.5, -1.5, and then Matt put like a +4 rear toe on the tyres, on the rear tyres. So I've just got rid of that. My front ride height's at 2 inches, my rear ride height's at 3.5. So what I could do now is, because I've got I can go all the way up to +4 on the rear toe now. Rear toe now, so like I said. But what I can do is I can lift the rear up now, and then my minimum toe I'll be able to set will be like 0 or 1. But then the car will be looser, which is a good thing. So, not so fast now in the middle of the corners probably, but might not notice it, but a lot easier to get off the corners. So there is a sweet spot with this high rear camber malarkey. There is definitely a sweet spot, and it's probably somewhere around 1, -1.2. Oh god. Oh god. Don't go on this sand. It's bad. Again, wait to downshift. Downshift now. There's enough room in the track there to downshift after the car's turn. No point whatsoever in downshifting before you get straight. Now here, look, I'll just show you again. So 4th gear, get round here, but then when you get to here, look, the car just wants to slide out, so floor it. Maybe not quite as much as that, but you can see what my idea was. Floor it, and then the back comes round, and you can kick the car in. So I am going to try and run at least one fairly quick lap without messing up too much. 3rd gear, again, get here, floor it, look, brings the back round, you're faster through the exit that way. Chunk of curb, another chunk of curb. Yeah, this is a bit easier now, look, because of the lower rear camber. But it won't be as fast around the S's and stuff like that. And I'm not sure what the difference is yet, but I will know. Right, that's a nice little apex there. 3rd gear, try and take a bit of curb. Like that, slow through this one. Now you're going uphill, so you can accelerate through this one a bit. Not too much. Slow down through this one and don't speed up at the end of it. Look, you've got to stay to the right there. Gives you a good entry into this. struggle on the power ramp that corner. That corner alone is going to dictate my power ramp because it's too loose there. It's nice everywhere else, but too loose for that corner. No downshift until now. Try and aim for this curb on the right there. That's alright. That'll do. Fourth gear, and just wait till you get to the end of it, look, and then plant it, look, like that. Gets the car round, it's the apex. Exactly what I wanted to do, meant to do that. See, you thought I was mad. I was mad. Right. Third gear. To get back round. As soon as you can, floor it again when you change up the fourth. Chunky curvy, short shift a second maybe, see what that's like. That's pretty good. Brake marker there. Oh, taking the piss there a bit too much. But yeah, gonna survive. Yeah, the power ramp's still too low for this track. I think it's set at, I remember what it's set at, 55, 60, something like that. Still too low. I'm gonna have to try and figure out another way of keeping the back gripped up or coming off these corners like this one because it's might just be my foot. Always think that as well to yourself, you know. If you can't find another way to be faster, then you have to adjust. You know, you plant your foot in the pedal. Oh, I've done this one. But you see, still left the downshifting till afterwards. Meant to do that. Just want to have a look at that barrier there. That bit of that's that little string on the right hand side there, that's what I was going to look at. So yeah, let's just check the start as well. That's no good either. Mick's video on how not to set up a car for Suzuka. Floor it now, see if that brings it home. Yeah, it does that. Same here, you need to get the power as early as you can now. Everywhere really. Brake marker, third gear, little touch of curb, floor it again. See, it was well gripped up that time. So the power ramps, missed the gear. The power ramps, nice through 130R. And it's pretty good there as well. A little bit on the limit, but pretty good. One more lap so we can get around and mess it up. Oh, I've missed something there, that's alright. So even if you miss the curb on the entry in turn 1, no matter, as long as you get to that apex on the second turn, might even be turn 2, it probably is called turn 2. This third gear is not very good either. Because all these are third gear corners, you can't really do it in the second because there's too much power in second at the top of the second gear, there's too much power in the engine. But it's lovely through here. It's all about the gearing, not anything else really. Bit of curb there, bit of curb here. Yeah, one on the outside curb, look. Then don't downshift until your car's straight. Well, I did there, but I went up to full gear for some weird reason. First gear's a little bit too short, I think. The hairpin. Again, turn in, wait till your car gets out and then floor it, look. See the wheel straighten up there? That's exactly what you're after. Same here as well, but it's tougher here. Notice I'm flat shifting all the way through these straights as well. You gotta watch that snap oversteer. Maybe I will go up on the power ramp a little bit more. And that's your lot. No, don't hit that. Don't hit that. Ah! Yeah, let me know in the forum, or if you ever see me in practice. Let me know if one person tells me that all the brake markers that I normally do are helping, then I will carry on doing them. I don't care if there's only just one person and the rest of you say no. What is the point? I'll do it. Lap times are terrible. Talking and driving. Hope you enjoy that one, guys. As someone told me this week, this is where the work begins. This track is hard work. Tough to set up for, tough to race at, tough to stay on the limit as well at this place. This is harder than Lime Rock. We've got Lime Rock coming up this season. I think this is harder than Lime. It's probably one of the hardest tracks on the service, I think. To not mess up, not mess up your lap. Again, well done to Michelle for not messing up his laps at the end of the Le Mans race on Saturday. That takes some doing, that does. Rob, you didn't miss your apex. Well done, Simon, beating me at Kyle Army. That won't happen again. Oh yeah, and Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year.